What's good, everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we are reacting to Epic the Musical Thunderbringer. Uh, and yeah, this is going to be the last one of the Thunder Saga. Apparently, the next saga is going to come out at the end of August. Actually, going to be pretty stoked about that one. Might have to accidentally do the whole listen to the lyric, uh, listen to the theme and all that. In all honesty, though I did get some interesting information from everyone involving the previous one, mutiny. One being Cyomeria, Cyomeria, Co. I I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Your name wrong. Cyomeria 6137, saying that the next couple songs are gonna be not really focusing on where Odysseus is, and that is a really interesting thing to actually know. And the only point of view I can think of, if it's not anywhere involving Odysseus and anyone else, would be Ithaca. So we're gonna go back to Ithaca because if I remember some of the song titles that was previously shown, though they weren't all full versions, there was a song that was called Legendary, and that was an interesting one to see from a list that was posted on a YouTube short. It wasn't all the songs, it was just like sample songs and all that. So that's a interesting thing. And yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments real quick. Sorry for a bit of silence. There is just so much to really talk about when it came to the previous one. But yeah, I also like to thank Michi9611 for the information about Helios. For those that don't know about Greek, this part of Greek mythology, Helios was actually a titan of the sun, and said titan became a god before his death and or fade, as people would call it, and everything he had was given to Apollo, as he was the next sun god and all that. And the cattle are from Helios originally, and they are still Apollo's friends. I think while they are his friends, they're also a bit of something that have him remember his friend Helios, because apparently from some sources they were very close. I am not too sure on that. Some say that, some don't. There's a lot of information regarding that. Some could be true, some could be false, as I said, and whatnot, but yeah. Helios and Apollo were close. Helios faded, but then Apollo became the next sun god and took care of the calves that belonged to Helios, since they were his friends, but also Helios's friends. So I think it's kind of like that kind of thing. So, in all honesty, it would make sense why he would be pissed off if those immortal cows got injured. Which, again, I don't know how you can kill an immortal cow. If anything, you might just piss them off or make them run away. And I don't know, wouldn't immortality just like try to heal them completely? Either way, you would still die immediately because of Apollo or whoever else is going to be involved. Uh, Also another thing about Apollo is, uh, I think the Percy Jackson books actually make the clear difference between the Roman and Greek stuff a bit more simpler. But yeah, a lot of the Roman gods are like representations of the Greek gods. Like Jupiter is Zeus, and you can actually search this up, and they're going to give a clear definition about this. It's weird how this goes, but Apollo from Greek and the Apollo from Rome are kind of the same. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. I don't know why some people from Rome actually did this. I mean, all the other names, Juno, Pluto, Neptune, Mars, Venus, all that makes sense. All that makes sense. It's Apollo's name that I find the weirdest of the bunch when it comes to Roman mythology. Because in Rome, they have an Apollo themselves, who is basically the Apollo from Greek, but there's like an additional name added to the other Apollo. It is a mouthful, to be honest, but I don't really go into that. Also, for the comment about the meat riding, if you want to see me meat ride really hard, then I will actually show you what meat riding is. Because let me tell you, I have not even been in my final form of meat riding. I'm just saying it how it is from what I'm seeing from the musical. Just saying. If you're thinking it's meat riding and I'm just admiring Odysseus and whatnot, no. I know the clear difference between the musical and the book. I'm just separating both of them because both of them are technically not the same person in this kind of context. Because let me just state clearly, the musical version seems a bit more modest and all that. In the books, it makes it seem like Odysseus is even the biggest piece of arrogant trash that you would see. Like his arrogance is so up there that his reason was for saying his name was because he managed him and his crew survived. I think I'm gonna have to rebrush up on that. I have not looked into the Odyssey in a while. So again, gonna have to look into that to be sure. But from what I know, the book version of Odysseus is really, really arrogant and had to take so many humble pies before being declared humble. While this one is like in the gray area of it. Just saying it how it is. So yeah, honestly, this is just everything I've been doing is my interpretation solely on the musical. If I actually had to read through the Odyssey and any other source that involves Greek mythology, it's gonna be a totally different opinion. It's like comparing the Disney version of the Greek gods to the actual lore based stuff. That is basically what I'm doing. I'm separating two different things. But yes, with this all said and done, talks over with, and all that, I hope you all enjoyed this reaction video. If you do, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button to be notified immediately when a new video comes out. And if you have any videos you would like to recommend that I should react to, put it down in the comment section below, and I'll react to it as soon as possible. Like, if you have another musical you want me to react to, go ahead, put it down there, and I'll react to it. Because I'm gonna be admittedly honest, I do like musicals a lot. I just don't think there's a lot I can actually show without it being claimed copyright, and I have to deal with all that kind of stuff. But yeah. Anyway, again, hope you all enjoyed. The link to this video will be down in the description below, so if you want to see this video before I start reacting to it, do it right now, pause the video, or see it after I'm done reacting to it. Either way, it works out. So with this said, let's start this, let's start the final video for the Thunder Saga. Okay. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Like, they're in the middle of the sea, not on land. Maybe I should pick a different one. Eh. Same context in all honesty.
Pride is a damsel in distress,
Yeah, this is Zeus.
hiding away where only I can undress her. Trial she cannot to confess.
Okay, I understand now the suggestive themes. Also, they are effed. If there's one god you do not want to get noticed by, it's literally the three kings: Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus. And now they have two of them on their ass. Great. Well, sucks to be them. There is no way this is going to be good. This is going to end so poorly that it's not even going to be funny. It's going to be sad and tragic. Everyone's not going to win. Because when it comes to the Greek gods, Zeus is hmm what's the proper way to say what Zeus is like? Hmm. It it's hard to even come up with something because there is so much to say about this one god that it's not even funny. It's not even good stuff you want to hear. It's all bad stuff. Zeus literally represents a lot of more bad things than he does good things.
In the end, it's all the same once I apply all the pressure.
Like that.
Thunder, bring her through the ringer. Show her I'm the judgment call, the one who makes her kingdom fall. Lightning, wield her, use and yield her. Show her what she can't conceal, for true nature will be revealed. Tell me, Odysseus, if I were to make you choose the lives of your men and crew or your own, why do I think they lose? Enlighten me, King of Ithaca, since hunger was far too great. I wonder who'd take the weight of the damned and suffer a gruesome fate. To the thunder bringer, here to bring your ears until you're deaf with fear and spear you while your death is near. Lightning wielder, here to yield your time, for you have passed your prime. Sublime you for your act of crime. Choose. Choose? Someone's gotta die today, and you have got the final say. You or your crew.
Ooh. There it is. There is the thing you did not want to hear. Now, this is the most complex thing to really say anything about. In all honesty, this just might be a whole ploy that Zeus just wants to F around with their heads and all that. Like, no joke, this might be that kind of case scenario. He knows what's going on. Apollo told him what was going on because he knew about the hunger problem. This is probably just pretense just to make them suffer, destroy trust and loyalty, to destroy Odysseus's confidence, and to break him, because breaking him might be more of a mercy than killing him. Especially if you consider one variable. I remember reading about it once. If he does end up there, then that would be honestly torture by itself. But to be honest, this just might be just a big ploy. Because even though this is all gonna be like a BS situation, one thing about Zeus is one of his titles. He's a god of justice. And while killing Odysseus might be justice to Poseidon in a way, this is a different scenario. And with that title of justice, he has to go by it. And justice technically means, in this case scenario, the guilty party. And even though Odysseus is the captain of the crew, he's not really guilty in this situation. I mean, the guy was tied up, so he's not gonna get killed unless he chooses himself. But that just might lead to Zeus just killing his crew and then him last. Honestly, this situation has no positive outcome. Like, if I'm to be honest about anything about this situation, there is more negative points to point out than positive ones. Like, a chance for Odysseus's crew just to leave without getting killed so he could be just sacrificed and all that. Nah, that's not gonna work. Because if Zeus has to fulfill his duty as a god of justice, he's gonna have to kill the crew. But he's also gonna have to kill Odysseus just to fulfill the promise and deed or something like that. Or to make it worse, he kills Odysseus first, his crew gets guilty and all that, and they just die no matter what. And realizing that no matter what, the outcome was they're gonna die, and that they led to the one person that they had relied on, who they were friends with, and so on and so forth, to commit an act that will get them killed for the sake of nothing. That is how I'm seeing this situation. There is nothing that's going to happen that Odysseus's crew is just going to come out and be, hey, we're going to be okay and all that. No, no. The only thing that's going to come out of this outcome is the fact that the crew is going to die. That is how I see it. That is how I know this is going to end. Either choice, either way, if they have a if they have like some kind of plan to get out of this choice and whatnot, like they did with Poseidon, it's not gonna work. It's gonna always end with that crew dying. Because they're the most guilty in this situation. They held down a cow. They committed mutiny. They attacked said cow. And because of this, they're effed. The only way this is gonna end in a good way is if Odysseus just picks his crew. There is nothing that comes to mind when it comes to this where everyone's gonna come out safe and happy. The only other possibility is they offer Eurylochus' life since he's the one that started all this, but even then, that's just gonna be a maybe. And not even a 50-50 maybe. Like a 10% that maybe is gonna come true, and a 90% that they're just gonna end up dead.
Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. When does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become a blaze? When does a man become a monster? When does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does a reason become a rain? When does a man become...
I don't know if Zeus actually made this projection or ghost or whatever of Penelope in front of Odysseus, but damn, that's just that's just like kicking a man while he's down. Oh, ugh, this is why in all of Greek mythology, I there's only like one god I really like, and that's Hesta. Second being actually Hades, mainly because A, he will only get on your case if you mess with him, and it's hard to do that. So, yeah.
Captain,
I have to see her.
but we'll die.
I know.
There is only one way this is gonna end, and it's not with your lives. I'm sorry to say, but when it comes to Zeus, there is no positive way that the crew was gonna come out alive in the end. If Apollo came down and you actually ask him, you would know because he's the god of truth and he can't disobey that. So sorry to say, but there is no way anyone on that crew, on that ship, was ever going to come out alive. No matter what someone says, they are going to get killed.
Thunder, bring her through the ringer. Show her I'm the judgment's call, the one who makes her kingdom fall. Lightning, wield her, use and gild her. Show her what she can't conceal, for true nature will be revealed.
Also, this is the career now illustrator. Also, there's another thing to really consider when it comes down to this. Even if the crew does make it out alive, what then? Odysseus was the one that had the most energy despite being tied up, bleeding out, not fully healed from his injury and whatnot. The crew was still hungry, so they weren't going to last long no matter what. And even if Odysseus died, there is no promise that they were going to come out through and through. I mean, look at Eurylochus. When it came to the god of the wind, he reminded Odysseus not to mess with the gods, since they don't F around. But look at what he did now. Something monumented to the gods. Apollo, to be more specific, and yet he decided to fuck around. There was no way this was going to end good, beginning or end. They would still need to find another island. And considering the fact that Odysseus was the big planner and all that, and he knew not to mess around with gods and all that, well, not completely. The only time he really did mess up was, well, a couple times he messed up, was A, not killing the Cyclops, because that just pissed Athena off. Though she doesn't have the right to actually get pissed off, he survived, his crew survived, and they dealt a major blow. And before he even said his name, they were gonna leave. In the musical version, she just had to take him off to make him kill the Cyclops. And because of him saying his name, it got to Poseidon, who's pissed off at him. And then there was Circe, but they kind of made things work out. But then after that, led to Apollo, but that was mainly Eurylochus' fault. And then Odysseus has to deal with Zeus. So, oh wait, there's also the wind god Eurole, but I think I said the name wrong. But technically, they almost fulfilled the task that was given to them. The only problem was, again, Eurylochus opening the bag, and it led them to Poseidon, who was either on his way to intercept them or something like that. But he got a better chance of doing it the second Eurylochus messed with the bag of wind. So yeah, How many times did Eurylochus did something bad that led to them to face a god? Twice. 2 times, actually. Well, if you want to count Circe, that's technically three, but then again, they landed on her island, and then he wanted to abandon. It's confusing. It's it's a long thing to even think about, and there's more things you have to consider. But yeah, overall, basic summary: this was not going to end well. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button, be notified immediately when a view. Ugh. Tongue twister right there. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button, be notified immediately when a video comes out, and yeah, tell me what you think about the Thunderbringer from this part of the musical. My guess is, considering that the prophet said that a man makes it back home alive, Odysseus is basically the one coming back home alive, but considering that for Monster, he's saying he's going to become a monster just to make it home, and he is still probably going to do that, even if he's by himself. I think the answer is going to be pretty obvious what's going to happen next after this next part of the musical. It's going to be probably this whole journey from this one place to wherever Odysseus is going to end up to Ithaca. And then we're going to have the final saga of the musical being the Ithaca saga. And so that's going to be an interesting one too. So, yeah, with all this said, hope you all enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Bye.